By the end of this unit, you will write a 6-word memoir and create an accompanying illustration. In this video lesson, we will review brainstorming techniques, discuss memoir and illustration, and see a few sample 6-word memoirs. Let's talk about brainstorming. And I'm not talking about the headache you get when you've been on Zoom all day. I'm talking about coming up with possible solutions to design problems, the third step in design thinking. I told you that term would come back later, and here it is. So how do we brainstorm? Well, a lot of times, in art, we use sketching to brainstorm, but for writing, we'll probably need a different method. One method of brainstorming is called cluster mapping, and looks a little something like this. You write the central idea in a bubble, and begin to write sub-ideas that split off from the main point. Those sub-ideas can have their own sub-ideas, and new central ideas can be formed and connected as well. Another such method is called linear brainstorming. You start with your main topic and fill in subsequent ideas below the topic as if you were making a tiered list. Free writing is pretty much what it sounds like. You take a topic and begin to write about it as if you were journaling. As you write, your ideas will morph and change, and you will find yourself following many different paths of thought. It takes some practice to get going, but once you do, I'm sure you will find that it is an excellent way to unlock your ideas. Thumbnail sketching is a method that will also come in handy later on in the process of this assignment. You will sketch small thumbnail-sized sketches to plan out your ideas for the illustration portion of the assignment. Now let's talk about memoirs. A memoir is a narrative written from the perspective of the author about a significant event in their life. This is different from an autobiography because it only focuses on a singular event rather than the entire life of the author. A 6-word memoir captures the essence of the memoir using a succinct sentence or short phrase. The key to the 6-word memoir is to start with a really good story with a beginning, middle, and end, then whittle it down by killing your darlings until you have only 6 words that tell the entire story. William Faulkner, a famous Southern writer, said, "In writing, you must kill all your darlings," which means you have to get rid of all the flowery language and throw out everything unnecessary. When you write your 6-word memoir, you'll really narrow it down to only the 6 most important words to tell your story. Illustration is a visualization or a depiction made by an artist, such as a drawing, sketch, painting, or photograph, or other kind of image. It can accompany words or tell a visual story all on its own. This entire video has been made up of illustration. Some of the other places you'll see illustrations are newspapers, books, magazines, websites, blogs, television, advertisements. Really, they're everywhere. Illustrations don't have to be in any specific style or media to be successful, but they need to tell a visual story. So, let's review what we've talked about so far. Brainstorming is a way to organize your thoughts so that you can plan for something you'll create. Memoir is a narrative in first-person voice about a time in the author's life. 6-word memoir is a very short, stripped-down, bare-bones memoir. Illustration is a visual story that often accompanies writing. In our next lesson, we will go over the process of writing a memoir. Later in the unit, we will narrow it down to a 6-word memoir. And finally, we will create our illustrated 6-word memoir. Please be prepared to discuss what we have learned and reviewed in class, and to begin brainstorming memoir topics.